Well, hello. This is Rosa, rcgkreations. How are you doing? Bringing to you a little card swap, and this swap is called Apple Greeting Card with a Twist. And what happens is, on this type of swaps, your partner sends you stuff, and you make a card and create it. You have to create your own base card, but here's the little napkin, and here is just a double-sided piece of cardstock, some ribbon, another thing of ribbon, some little cutouts. Here's a little apple, and it's made out of balsa wood, and some other ribbon, some more pieces of cardstock. I think, oh yeah, this one's a sticker. Yeah, that's a sticker. And then a little bead. We have to use pretty much everything. We can add 3 more items of our choice. And let's get to creating. So first thing I need to do is get myself a piece of card base. I kind of like this one just because it's already cut and it's right here. Okay, bear with me here. I'm making sure I'm still in frame. I got this new camera that got it for my birthday, which was in August. But I'm still tinkering with it. I'm having a lot of trouble focusing and put it in focus. Oh, let me get my bone folder. I want to get myself, let me just move this over to the side. So I have workroom. I'm just going to score my card. I always like to double check it, make sure it's pretty even before I start assembling something on it. Now let's see what we can trim or keep. Kind of don't really like that box because it's kind of cut off, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut this part off. Okay, bear with me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So what I've done is I went ahead and cut that napkin apart. Then you find a spot to separate, because most of these napkins are 1, 2, some are 3. And you want to be very, very careful and separate the 2, because this is going to be a napkin card, since that's what you gave me. And you add it to your cardstock with double-sided adhesive. I like to use my adhesive sheets, but you see how I'm being very, very patient. You have to be very, very patient because this is fragile, and you just very slowly pull it apart. Don't pull it too much because it'll rip. You see how I'm going up and down on this, because I want to make sure that it does not rip. Some of them you can just take it apart and they go real smooth, especially the smaller ones, but this was a big one, and this is going to be too big for the card that I'm going to use, because I really don't want to use a great big card, but I want to use at least most of it, since that's what I was given, and that's part of the challenge, is to use what you were given. And this is a really great way for you to look outside the box. And you see how I'm doing it a little bit wider now, but still work very, very slowly, because this is the perfect time when it rips. And believe me, I know. Ask me how I know. And try not to wrinkle this too much. This other part is fine, because I don't throw this away though. I save them because I use those as tissues, or as I use it as a napkin on my craft table. Because, you know, Frugal Rosa, I don't waste anything if I possibly cannot. I tried not to. And you still want to continue working slowly, because you don't want to rip it. Okay, I think I'm almost done with it. Okay, now I got this little piece that I was going to cut off, because I know I'm not going to use the whole thing. And you see that, how it's all one layer, and you can see through it. You can also feel if there's another layer or not. And I could tell from that it was just a one layer napkin. So I'm just going to cut up close to the leaves. I don't want to disturb any of them because I don't know what part I'm going to use. Not only that, but I can use the other half that I don't use for another project. Or you know what, I just may throw it away, or I just use it as a napkin. Whatever I want to do, because I'm not going to waste it. But I'm going to try to use most of the card. But I'm not going to be worried too much about it if I don't use all of it. And I'm thinking I might want to go ahead and put this on a circle piece of cardstock. That way I can raise it up and give myself a two-dimensional look. Which I just might do that anyway. I don't know yet, so let me just see here. This is the extra pieces that I went ahead and cut out of the die cut. And there's that little fox. See, there's that little fox right there. I'll go ahead and cut it out. So I'm not going to use those pieces. They're more than likely going to be trash. But I may use the other side because that side's pretty on another project. Okay, so this is something I'm going to use. I don't want to do anything over here, but it did make it just enough on that part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this, and then I'll cut off the edges over there. So I need to get myself some, where do I keep my double-sided? I'll have to bring it back because I don't know where I keep my double-sided adhesive. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I found my Easy Cut adhesive. I got a couple of sheets of this stuff here. And, not a couple of sheets, I have a couple of packages. Because when I order this stuff that I know it works, I like to have at least a couple of packets on hand. And it's double-sided. Okay, come on. It's inside these two covers here. There we go. And then there's a little crease here that they give you. Not all of them do that. Some of them do. It's double-sided here. Then you'll stick it on there, and then actually this is going to use most. This is actually a good size for this project. Yeah, that's a little wax paper backing. Okay, so let me just see which part is prettier. And I'm actually just going to put it right on the dead center as much as possible. Be very careful because once you stick it, you're stuck. You cannot move it. So make sure you have where you want it to be. So I got a bubble. It happens. But you can kind of smooth it out with your fingers. But I got a bubble right on the flower. Oh well. Didn't want that to happen, but it did. And see that? See my little bubble? You see that little right there, the bubble there on the crease in the flower? And the thing. So you know what? Since I know I've done that, I'm going to put this part that's going to cut out. Okay. So I'm going to line this up right over here. And okay, so where do I? This is Easy Cut permanent double-sided. Okay, so there is a back liner. Ah, no. Don't lay this down because that's the sticky part. Okay, so where's the back liner? Okay. Okay, there's a piece back here that you pull off next. You gotta find it, just like you did the napkin. You gotta find the spot of where it's at. Okay. Okay. I'm not gonna. Oh, here it is. I found it. Yay! See, there's that film. But what I want to do before that goes any further, but at least I know where it's at, is let's get a pretty design that we're going to keep and cut out the extra stuff. Okay, so here's where I want it. That's the yucky spot. Let me do it this way. Turn it around this way. Yeah, because I like this part here. I don't like that part there. And then there's where it's going to go. So let me cut this part off, since I already know that I'm not going to be using that spot. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, because I kind of want this really as close to this as possible. If it goes over a little bit, I'm okay with that, because I can always cut that part off. Okay, so I've got it. I've eyeballed it. This is pretty much where I want it to be. Let me straighten it out. Okay, now let me straighten this part out. This is the part I do not want. So I'm going to cut this part off. I'm going to give myself just a tiny little border, because I can always cut that extra off if I don't like it. Oops. This has got the sticky stuff, so I'm going to move that over to the side. But I'm not going to throw that part away, because I can always use that for another project. Okay, so now I've got that part good to go, and then I know where I can go. Okay, so let's put that here. Now I've got to find another little area to remove this backing. I will tell you, this is the one part you definitely are happy if you have nails, because I wish there was they had it the same way in the front was really easy with the crease. I wish they did that on the back side, but they don't. At least this particular type of double-sided adhesive does not. You could always do wet glue, but then my experience is with wet glue, it leaves a lot of ridges. So I either do double-sided adhesive. I prefer to do the double-sided adhesive. I get the bigger sheets and then try to cut it down. When after you've cut it all down, you have to find a spot to separate it. And that's the problem that I'm having. It's taking too long. I'm going to pause because this is taking too long. I'll bring you back. Okay, I'm back. I found a piece. Now, very carefully, you lay it on your cardstock. Let me move my stuff out of the way here. And then gently with one hand, hold it because you want to make sure it doesn't wrinkle on you. And then you lay it down. Then with your finger and gently press it all around, press it all out. And now you can trim off the excess. And make sure you're using scissors. These are Teflon coated, so they help resist the adhesive. And I love these scissors. But be careful because all this is very, very sticky. And that's going to go in the garbage. And then let me do this edge. This stuff is sticky. So it's not easy to work around it and cut and trim. And then you definitely want to do this because cut this little edges right down here. You see that? Because that's sticky also. So get as close to the cardstock as you can get it. Okay. Now let me take this off with my scissors. As you can see, this is a good product. It really does exactly what it's meant to do. It's double-sided adhesive. Okay, now this part here I don't want, so what I'm going to do is, if I can, I'm going to pick it up without messing with my cardstock. I should have done this first, is what I should have done, before I laid it on here. And then let me get my baby scissors. Okay. And I'm going to trim as close as possible to that piece, that round piece right there. Some more adhesive there. I really should have done this. This is a lesson learned. Trim it before you take the backing off of where you really want it to go. No, that's stuck. That's not going anywhere. I'm just going to cut this adhesive off, and you know what? I have those extra pieces that I have to use anyway. So let me get my bigger scissors for this project. That way I just do one cut. There we go. Woo! It was so sticky. Pick up my little pad. My little laser trimmer. Okay, so that's on there. And I'm going to wait, because I have to use this stuff. So I can put this right here and line it up. And then I'll just have to add adhesive to this part. I don't have to do all 4 sides. Okay. I'm good to go there. Oh, I did the wrong side. I should have just done it on the other side, because I only needed adhesive on 3 sides. Get my little stragglers in here, because I don't want them to pick up anything. And I'm just going to put this right here. I'm going to clean up my mess up. I'm going to fix my mess up. I'm not going to clean it up. Now, get some of your anti-static powder. I like this one with the little brush. This is from EK Tools, okay? And use this once you put your project together. Add your static powder on here, and that takes the stickiness away. And you can always go in and you can feel it. I wish there was a way I could trim this off, but I can't get any closer. It's a mess up that I did. I should have paid more attention. But you know what? What happens to everybody? We're all human. Don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. 99% of the time, you can always fix it. You know, and after I'm all said and done, if I still don't care for it, I can always add a piece of ribbon right here on the very edge. And continue to add the anti-static powder until all the stickiness is gone. And you'll feel it by just putting your finger through it. And see, there we go. And it's all there. I got to fix this part here, but I'm okay. I got to fix that part too. But because we have to add all these other pieces, because I've got this ribbon part. In fact, that may be the project that I need to do. Because I kind of like this right here. I should have done that. Let me do that. I didn't totally seal this here. You know, this card's going to be a card of mistakes. And when you mess up, how to fix it. Because this is my second major mistake I just did. And I'm trying to pick up my card without tearing up my card too much. It ain't going to work. It's not going to work. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and go from here to here. I did it on purpose. Okay, so when you trim that, I'm going to get myself some double-sided adhesive. Let me move this out of the way. And I'm going to put it on this part, any part that has material. That's where your adhesive sticks to. Well, it didn't stick to, oh, there it is. Yeah, I did. Okay, but I'm going to put it on, get some more. And put it on this side. Okay, and then I'm just going to put my little lacy border right here on the very edge. And I just fixed my mistake with an item that I had to use anyway. And let me cut off my excess trim. Don't need that. Don't want it. We'll throw that away. Okay. Now I gotta do something with this little piece. Let's just do this little corner right in here, and we're just gonna do, I actually don't like that too much. Let's just do a piece of it about right there. I don't really want to go all the way over. Let's get some of my, need a bigger work area when I'm doing my videos. This is just not big enough. Well, it is big enough. I'm just so used to my big work table over here of having all this space. But you know what, like everything else, you have to work with what you have. Okay, there's that. I'm just double checking to make sure I have adhesive on all little corners, because I don't want this to come back up. Because this is probably going to be a card that's going to be put in the mail next year. It's too late now because it's past fall. But I like to make cards for all year long. And I just stick them in a little container that I keep all my cards in. And then I have them already ready. Okay, so I'm going to look at this upside down. So I'm in the corner base. And I'm going to fold this so I know where I'm right on the edge. Hold that down just to make sure, because that is that piece right there. And you don't have to use the whole thing on part of the swap, just bits and pieces of it. Okay. And then that takes care of that one. This is garbage. There's that backing stuff. I use that. I haven't used this one yet. I'm trying to get myself more room here to work with. Okay, I'm going to make sure I use all my pieces too, because I don't want to be accused of not using all the items that were given to me. And then this is my little apple. Because the whole point of the card says apple. I think I'm going to put that up in some squares. I'm going to put this on the inside. That's going to be scraps. So scraps go over here. I've used those. I think she sent me too much stuff. It didn't work out. It doesn't look like it's going to work out. Okay. I just put that in my garbage here. I got to put the apples somewhere. But I don't want to take away from the flat. Oh, yeah, that's okay, I guess. Don't really care for that there, but I still have my flour, have my tissue, but I got to do something with this corner here. Oh, this is the little message that I'm going to use. Because I don't want to use fall in there twice. I'm just going to cut it out, and I'm going to say dream. I'm going to cut this. These are those pre-cut message cards that I have. I got a whole assortment of them. And I'm just going to cut that word dream. Cut this as close to that part there. And then let me trim some of this because it's a little too much that I need for my project today. And then let me trim this just a tad more. Okay. Alrighty, so I got my adhesive. Let me get my little adhesive stragglers out of the way. And then I'm going to put it right here on the edge. So that covers up that mistake that I made originally. And I'm going to put these on double-sided. Let me get me some double-sided foam. And I am going to put this, you can still see the word fall, and there's my apple, and there. And let me just get myself some double-sided foam. For this stuff, I like to use my little scissors because this stuff is really, really sticky. See how it's so sticky? I think this was in the heat when it got shipped to me because it was done over the summer. Make sure it's all clean so it doesn't, so it sticks. And I want to make sure it all stays attached. So I'm staggering this double-sided adhesive. Let me get another little piece right there just so it doesn't buckle while it's in the mail. I think I have room for it right here. Okay, it's a little too long. See how sticky that stuff is? Look at that. That is adhesive. Good. That worked out great. Same old little spot because I just may need that for something. I've used it many, many times. Oh, you know what? This is what I'm going to do right here. Because I want to make sure it doesn't buckle in the mail. So line this up. That's why sometimes you have to turn things around so you can get a good view and a good angle. Because I wanted to make sure the adhesive was on there without, so you can't see the adhesive. See that? So sometimes you just have to move things around. Okay, so now let me get the backing off of here. This is another part that's kind of tough. Okay, come on, it's not sticking. Okay, now it's sticking. Oh, no, but it's actually coming off. Yeah, whenever your double-sided foam is not sticking, like that one's not, do yourself a favor. Leave it just the way it is, but get your wet adhesive. I like to, when my adhesive glue bottle has been sitting here long, if you twist it, you don't lose, and this little ball comes off. Because it's just glued in there, but you don't lose it. And then add a little bit of adhesive with your wet glue. Okay, I need to poke it. It's got an air pocket in there with probably a piece of glue that's dried up. So you just poke it in there. You want to loosen that up till you get a good flow. There we go. And then put it back down. And that's gonna make it, that's gonna let it stick because it glues on there. See? I'm gonna hold it for a few minutes because this is wet adhesive. Well, you know what? It doesn't want to seem to stick. I'm just gonna hold it for a few more seconds, a few more, maybe a minute. In the meantime, let me close up my glue bottle before it dries up on me and the tip of it gets more adhesive on it. Okay, there we go. Now it's working. But you know what? No, it's not. It's still not. It's wanting to stick. You know what? But it will when I lay something heavy. Because I always, when I'm doing double-sided foam items with double-sided foam, I always do like to put something heavy on the card, at least for 2 or 3 hours, so it totally sticks and lays flat, which it will. You see, now it's on there, but I need to move it because I moved it with from that wet adhesive. It's still not dry. So let me just get my backing off of here. All these little pieces. And then here's my card. Let me get myself some room. And then I'm going to eyeball this of where I really didn't want to. I'm going to have to lose most of my sunflower. Didn't really want to, but you know what? Sometimes you just have to, because this is a project I did not pick. It was picked for me. And I had to create something with what I was given. Okay, so I'm just going to let that hold for just a few minutes, few seconds. Get this out of the way. And then that is the front of the card. I think I'm totally fine because I've got all my I've used my embellishments. Now I always like to decorate the inside. So this is where I'm going to go ahead. Where's that message? Where did I just put that message at? Oh, there it is. Life is but a dream. That's what I'm going to do. Life is but a dream. I'm going to do a double layers. And since I have my wet glue out, I'm just going to use my wet glue. This is going to be a quickie project right here on this part. Life is but a dream. Let's move this over just a tad. And there. I think that turned out cute. Now, life is but a dream. It's fall, the cards and everything, the pieces that I was given. And on the inside, I'm not going to do fall again because I already had fall. And we'll use this ribbon. And let's just go ahead and cut this down to about right there. And it's a piece of that sticky stuff. It's just, I like my ribbon edges to be, you see how that foam? I'll be so glad when I'm almost out. I'm down to 2 more rolls of that stuff, and I will never buy that double-sided foam again. It's just, you know, sometimes when you buy cheap, you get cheap. And I knew at that price, I should have known there was something wrong with it. But, you know, live and learn. Part of life. So I want my frayed edge to be straight. So I'm going to use the ridges because this ribbon has ridges already on it. I'll clean those out. Okay, so our card's going to be this right here, and then let's do this one. I like this one a little bit better. And then we'll put some of those sunflowers on it. And this is just a sticker. So, let me go ahead and remove the dried up glue. That's it. I know I felt it a while ago when I was putting using it. And I'm just going to add some glue and bits and pieces. I don't need a whole lot, because this is going to be in the inside of the card, so I know it's going to get stuck pretty darn good. I'm going to line it up about right there. Again, I like to eyeball a bunch of my projects. That's just me. But if you want to use your like when you use your little laser, let's see, where did I turn it on? One of these doesn't. The battery's out. I got to replace it. There it is. See my little laser? So if I wanted to eyeball it, this is what the whole reason why you do the laser. I love the little tool, and it lines it up. So here, like here's my straight edge on my grid mark. But if I wanted this to be perfectly straight, you see that? See how it's not totally straight? See how it's flush here correctly? That one's there, but I got a little bit crooked. So I could have used my laser, and that's what it told me where to lay down my ribbon, so it would have been totally straight. But you know, when you're eyeballing it, it's close enough. It's so close. It's not that big of an issue for me on this particular project. But sometimes it really is, which is why I got this laser tool to begin with, because a lot of times I do a lot of projects where being precise really makes it pop. And you get to go a long ways with that. So let's just put our, this is a self-adhesive die cut. And let's just put that right down here. Another piece of adhesive. And I'm going to put one of my little flowers right down here in the corner. And I'm not going to use double-sided foam because it's on the inside of the card, and it's already a 3D effect because it's got the centerpiece there already anyway. But that kind of helps offset the corner area, because I actually trimmed this a little too short. Mistake number 3, if anybody's counting. And that, I think, is going to complete my card, because I don't really have any other little pieces that I want to use. And I can write a hand message of what it is that I want to say. Before I go any further, let me close up my glue bottle. But there we go. Oh, you know what? No, we're not done yet. I gotta trim this. And I'm not going to worry about that part, because it'll just hold up. So there we go. That's my apple. This swap is called Apple Greeting Card with a Twist. So there's my message. I used pretty much everything she gave me. This is just too much. I'm not going to do this, because this will not go with anything. I don't know why she stuck that in there, but she did. You know, it kind of would be okay, actually, because it is kind of a purple color. You see that? It's kind of a purple, so that may be on here. But I'm not going to do it. If it doesn't work for you, if you don't feel good about it, don't do it. Because remember, this is a card that you're going to probably give to somebody else. And if you wouldn't want it, don't make something that don't give it to somebody that if you don't want it, don't make it for somebody who probably doesn't want it either, or doesn't really care, would not appreciate that. And then you see here I have my little phrase of that double-sided adhesive that I couldn't trim very well and stuff. So I'm going to continue to work with that. But it's no longer sticky. It's not sticky no more. But that's my finished project. So there's the card, and that's the inside. And I don't think I need another message. I would just, leave it just like that. Or go ahead and put a handwritten message in here in the center of what you want to do. I thank you so much for watching. We catch you in the next video. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and share. Bye-bye.